Hello, how y'all doing? How y'all doing this snowy day? We have been snowbound for about 7 days. Okay. But Monday, which was yesterday, today is February the 3rd, right? February the 2nd, which was Monday, that was my absolute last day that I could be snowbound. Why? Because I had to pay a bill yesterday. Okay. I had to. So I had to get out. And what I was prepared to do was just walk to the store. That's what my plans were. Excuse me, because I've done it hundreds of times because I'm a walker, right? So walking to the store was just not a problem with me. I have boots and I have two boots and work boots or whatever, so I don't have a problem walking to the store. So we went out yesterday uh, to the store. We had to go up a snow and ice hill and then down a snow and ice hill. The main highways was okay. So we had to get on the highway. We got to the grocery store and we did what we need to do. See this when you're in a snow situation, everything is at an extreme. Groceries were running low. So we didn't have much. Everything, even my reserves are almost gone. Okay. So we had to go out Monday to just get a little bit of food to last us a week. And I did have some cash in my purse, so we used that. Okay. So, when you're in a situation like this, you get into extremes. Okay. So we were running low on food, so we had to get out. I had to pay a bill. Trash is piling up because there's been no pickup, no trash pickup. Laundry's piling up. Mail is piling up. Although there was a delivery yesterday, it was still piling up. Everything is piling up. Um, and see, what my whole issue is, I think this snow season is that I was unprepared. So my snow shovel and my pickaxe uh, were in a storage unit. And the reason why they were in a storage unit is because we were planning on remodeling the house. So we put some stuff in the storage unit. I put my snow shovel and my pickaxe in the storage unit. However, to my credit, we did have one bag of salt. So we were able to use that um, to help us, at least get out of the get out of the driveway a little bit, and to get down the steps. What I saw, and also to my credit, I had a lot of tarps. Uh, I got these 10 by 12 tarps real cheap from this particular store, and so we were able to cover up the car so we won't have all this snow and ice on the car. We're able to cover up the steps so we can get down the steps. So that was wonderful. I covered up the steps with the tarp and we were able to get down the steps easily. Okay. So before the snowstorm actually came, everything was covered up. So when it stopped snowing, we could get down the steps. Um, I had some tarps in the driveway. So when that snow and ice melts, it's going to be dry underneath. That's what I wanted. And like I said, I covered up the car. So when we took the tarp off the car, it was nice and clean. But in my opinion, I was just unprepared this snow season. Everything was in the tool shed. But look, I give myself some credit for having one bag of salt. We probably should have had some cat litter and some what do you call that, sand. That would have been a lot better. Now, also, what I did was go out in the street in front of us and just crack some of that ice with a shovel. I have one shovel here, just a regular shovel. um, I should have gone out there. I went out there and cracked some of the ice with the shovel, so he can at least get in to the driveway. And then after I cracked some ice, I was out there for a good 20 to 40 minutes cracking ice with the shovel. Okay. And next thing I know, I saw four Mexicans cracking some ice with the shovel. And there's some Mexicans up there cracking some ice with the shovel. Okay. What I was trying to do is just getting rid of some of the ice so he can at least pull into the driveway. But what I saw, my whole issue this whole snow season was unpreparedness. I was just unprepared. A lot of stuff was in the storage unit, and I did have salt, 1 bag of salt, but I didn't have sand and cat litter, and so but that's what you need to get out of the driveway. I urge you to keep up your personal hygiene. There's nothing worse than being snowbound and dirty. So I advise you to keep up your hygiene, your personal hygiene. Keep up your personal hygiene in the house. Use that Lysol and bleach to keep everything clean. Wash your dishes every day. You don't want no critters. You don't want no garbage in your house, so you have critters in your house. Okay, you don't want that. So keep up your personal hygiene, and your hygiene within the house. We still have electricity, which is a blessing. My heart goes out to Tennessee and Mississippi. They've been without electricity for about uh, 2 weeks. 2 weeks. So my heart goes out. Another problem is that a lot of these houses are all electric and don't have an alternative heat source like a fireplace or a stove. I really like those stoves that they call them buck stoves or whatever, but you can get different types of stoves now. You don't have to always get a buck stove. There's so many different types of stoves you can get. Um, so I think that's a problem in Tennessee and Mississippi, is that a lot of those houses don't have alternative heat sources. Now you take like people who live in the country, they have alternative heat sources. Okay, you see people in the Netherlands or Switzerland who live out there in the country, or Ireland who live out there in the country. They have alternative heat sources. They always have a stove and a fireplace where they cook their bread and heat the whole house. And we've gotten away from that because we like everything electric. But I hope you're having a good day. But like I said, overall, I think my issue is that I was just unprepared. I didn't know it was going to have snow and ice that badly. I did not anticipate that. I mean, I just anticipated some snow, but I didn't anticipate that much snow and ice. Okay, but what I didn't understand about the North Carolinians is why they knew they wouldn't get 12 inches. They knew that. And why they went out on the highway anyway. I'm sure they warned them, do not go out on the highway. But they went out on the highway anyway. I can excuse the truckers because they have to make deliveries. I can excuse, FedEx, etc. But I didn't understand why, anyone in just a car go out on Interstate 85 if you don't have to. I didn't understand that at all. So my heart goes out to the homeless, but even if you're homeless, you need to have some hotel money. Even if you're homeless, I don't know if any homeless are working or if they have a check or whatever. But whatever a lot of homeless people do have a check. They do. And I don't understand why they don't save that check and when times like this, just go out into save their money and then go to a hotel for times like this, because these times are going to come. But overall, look, I fought myself for being unprepared this season. The snow shovel and the pickaxe, or in the storage shed. Now I could have used that pickaxe. It makes cutting up that ice so much easier. But look, I gave myself credit for having a bag of salt. I should have had sand and cat litter. Okay. But I hope y'all are safe. Have a nice day.